and welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to have you here, so get your coffee ready, which I've already had if you can tell. So today we're going to be doing MLM Horror Stories, where I read your guys' MLM Horror Stories that you have sent me. I've had a couple of comments lately that have been saying that they sent me their horror story like months ago and I haven't read it. Please, 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 if it's been months and I haven't read yours yet, sometimes they do get lost in my email. I'm currently working on paying someone to actually organize my email for me and go through them so that I don't miss any of your guys' emails. So if that is you, please just resend it to me or forward it to me, and then I will be able to see it because it'll be at the top of my email list. So with that being said, buckle up and let's get into today's video. So this MLM Horror Story says it's about stalking and Pokemon cards, which is really funny. So they go, "Hey Deanna, I'm a channel member of yours and love your videos so much. I have a story for you that didn't happen to me but happened to my friend. Buckled in because it gets wild. You can't make this stuff up." They said, "My friend, we'll call her Sav, was in Beachbody. Her upline, which we'll call Pam, was freaking horrible. She was pushy, aggressive, and insane. Breaking the rules by paying for people's accounts, literally screaming and yelling at her downline for any little slip up, accusing them of not working hard enough, the works. She made it clear that getting her to her rank and anything that benefited her came first. Her downline's quote unquote businesses came second. Sav found the anti-MLM light about 2 years ago and quit Beachbody. But the aftermath of what happened when she left is the real story. So here we go. A little backstory on Pam, it'll be important later. She is a huge Pokemon card collector. I'm talking buying and selling huge amounts and collecting rare cards worth hundreds of dollars, all of that. Pam is also in a type of battle rap community. You know, like the people that are aspiring rappers where they write their own bars and go against each other in person and winning clout, I guess. I'll be honest, rap was not Pam's calling, but you couldn't tell her that. As far as she was concerned, she was the next Cardi B. Anyway, Pam would desperately try to sell all of her Beachbody crap to the people in the battle rap group. She created the group, by the way. I got secondhand embarrassment watching her rap videos she posted on Facebook. She literally would include lines about Beachbody in some of her raps. I kid you not, I remember laughing out loud at one line in particular that went like, "Shaking in your knees when I take my pre." Oh, let me try this. "Shaking in your knees while I take my pre." So cringe. I'm praying I can find the video she posted 2 years ago with that line. If I do, I'll attach it. She was so pushy selling Beachbody that they kicked her out of her own group. She rants on Facebook about this to this day. So Sav quits Beachbody and Pam loses her ever-loving SHIT, blowing up her phone, calling her names, spreading rumors about her. Ridiculous. Sav worked at a pizza shop. Pam would call Sav's work asking to talk to her. She would order a pizza for pickup just to come in and harass Sav. One day after working her shift, Sav came out to her car to leave for the night and it was covered in what you ask. If you guessed hundreds of Pokemon cards, you're right. Sav called the police to ask for a PFA, but because they did not have an intimate relationship or anything, she couldn't file one. I don't know, it was bullcrap. Pam then would email Sav raps she wrote about her because Sav blocked her phone number. They were horrible in the quality and the things she was saying about Sav. So Sav flags her emails as junk mail, but Pam found a way, y'all. Sav and Pam were actually close friends in the MLM. They shared a Netflix account that Sav had never changed the password to. After being blocked on social media, phone, and email, Pam changes the name of one of the accounts to Netflix to say, "Call me Pam." These Huns are relentless, y'all. Needless to say, Sav changed the Netflix password. Numerous other things happened over the past year that she quit, including Pam bashing Sav online, somehow making an ad on Craigslist for Sav advertising sexual services. Can't prove it was Sam, but at this point, who else would it be? Sav finding the Pokemon cards around her house, porch, car on multiple occasions. Sav eventually filed something about harassment in court and Pam was ordered to leave her alone. But they spelled Pam's name wrong on the last document and she went around bragging she didn't have to follow it due to the misspelling and that she was going to beat Sav up. Just pure craziness. Things have died down though. Pam had probably moved on to her next victim. Thankfully, my friend can live in peace. Thanks for reading. Again, I love your content. Well, she never sent me the rap, but hey, if the girl wants to rap, I guess you let her rap. That is really creepy. Like that gets to the point of like straight stalker style. Like the fact that she would put Pokemon cards all over the car and randomly Sav would find Pokemon cards around her home. Like how creepy is that to have that feeling of like not even being comfortable in your own house? That's disgusting. Like in my opinion, that's so sad. And that just goes to show sometimes there are people that join these MLMs that just probably aren't good people. Like she was probably doing things like that even out of the MLM, like harassing people and I guess stalking people who didn't agree with her. I have no words. What do you guys think about that? I feel like that's purely disgusting. Like I don't mess with things like harassment and stalking and stuff like that. So it's probably one of the more worst MLM horror stories that we've seen, because just because she quit doesn't mean she deserves to be harassed and stalked at her own home. Like disgusting. Oh, and how'd you guys like my little rat part? But anyways, here's the next MLM horror story. So this was titled Anti-MLM Horror Story featuring a pro athlete. It goes, "Hey Deanna, my name is Lauren and feel free to use my name." So this isn't a huge horror story, but it is something I want people to be aware of. There is a pro athlete. I won't say what he is an athlete of. All I will say is that he has a YouTube channel and has gone to the Olympics. This athlete has an amazing workout program that he created with his trainers. However, he's also a Herbalife sponsored athlete. For the most part, his workout program is awesome. I don't really pay that much attention to the nutrition advice because, you know, he's not a nutritionist. But at the beginning of the year 2021, he has started this new program that is super selective. And because I'm doing a workout program of his, I was invited. I was curious to see what this new 3-week program could offer. The Zoom call starts and it's all good. And then the Herbalife shilling starts. They had people under the age of 16 on the call and had to say multiple times that they were not allowed to do the program because kids can't sign up for Herbalife. I think that might be a thing for where he's from, because here in America, you can't sell that stuff to people younger than 18. I was so disappointed. He and his quote unquote team talk on and on about the benefits of Herbalife, and I just know it's a scam. I went into the call expecting to hear about workouts that were planned for this 3-week program, but instead got 30 minutes of an Herbalife sales pitch. They even went on to say if people buy Herbalife elsewhere, they couldn't do this plan because it's a freaking MLM. I want to support this athlete. They are one of my favorites, but I just can't. Not with this program, at least. It was super sneaky the way they did it too. I don't think any of these people who do sign up realize that they're going to soon have to figure out how to show Herbalife eventually too. I also think it's scummy on Herbalife's part to have an athlete utilize his fans to sell their product. And it's not like the athlete needs money, it's just super sketch. It's also sketch because I watched this dude on YouTube. He ain't actually utilizing the product. I have seen him do meal prepping for some company from his country. He never outwardly talks about Herbalife anywhere. He just says he's a brand ambassador on his Twitter. It's all a ruse, because I think we all know that Olympic athlete, which he is, would actually use a Herbalife as part of their nutrition plan. I just wanted to get the word out there and say I hate that he went about it in the way that he did, being so secretive, making it seem all-inclusive when all it was selling some pre and post workout powders that are from Herbalife. I wish he could see the light, but he's been drinking the Kool-Aid for 6 years. If you come across this athlete, you'll know immediately, trust me. So word of advice, anyone can be a hun or a bro bot, even world-class athletes. So she actually sent me a follow-up email and she goes, "Hey, it's Lauren again. I wanted to add something to my last email about the Olympic athlete shelling out Herbalife. In the private meeting he held, and he has been holding quite a few, at least 3 that I have seen, he did the classic MLM manipulation tactic. He mentioned that the program would have some costs and that it's really like buying a coffee a day when you think about it. He also said that you need to think about your health in terms of where you want to put your money," which is super, I'm not sure the right term aside from manipulative, but it seems very much like guilt tripping. Anyways, one of his teammates said then that the cost could be anywhere from 50 to 150 pounds for 3 weeks, but should last more. Anyways, thanks again. I just really wanted to add this point because an Olympic athlete telling me to buy Herbalife and think about where I want to put my money in regards to my health just seems wrong and manipulative. Again, I want to stress I'm not going to buy into him, nor can I in good faith support his workout programs anymore, which is what I signed up for in the first place because he offered a free program because of COVID. His heart is in the right place, but his brain is muddled with Herbalife. So honestly, I definitely have an opinion about this. Someone who's an Olympic athlete, maybe that person is using Herbalife, but someone who is an athlete like that is probably going through a really, really strict regimen when it comes to nutrition and working out. Like they probably have a trainer that trains them for, you know, what it is that they're doing in the Olympics. They probably have a nutritionist, dietitian, someone who tells them like, this is what you need to eat for optimal performance. And I just don't see a coach or a dietitian saying, hey, have Herbalife. And it can be really manipulative when you have these big people on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, wherever they are, and they have a really big platform or really big following, and then you see them start promoting an MLM. It is super manipulative because they're using their platform that you have been a supporter of, right? So this person has clearly been a supporter of this person, of this athlete, of this YouTuber, and then you support them, and then when it comes down to it, they just want to make money off of you. Which I want to make clear, being on social media, there are going to be times where, you know, I have a link down below, right? So on my YouTube channel, I may have a link down below to I don't know, my cup. I always have this link in every description. I do make like 1% commission off of this when you purchase it. That makes sense because I'm not trying to sit here and manipulate you into buying this cup. I just use this cup in my videos. If you think it's cute, if you enjoy it, you can buy it. But I'm not trying to sit here and take more money and sign you up on a team and try and have you then go on social media and sign people up, and knowing that in the long run, you're probably not going to make that much money. That's really the difference for me. So I feel that someone with a large following that has such a large pull on so many people, honestly, probably a lot of impressionable people, especially if the age range that watches your videos or watches you on social media is around like 17, 18. That's a really big age where you can really be manipulated to doing something because you may not do the research on it. So I just don't enjoy when people who are big creators or athletes or celebrities, they go out and they promote these things because in the end, you are using your influence to essentially hurt people, because in the long run, not all of those people are going to make money. Not all of those people are going to be debt free. Like they're probably going to get into debt. So let me know what you think down below about this. What do you think about influencers or Olympic athletes or these people? What do you think about them using MLM products and then trying to get you to join their team? I feel like this guy did it in a very manipulative way. Like, hey, you can join this, you know, free program or this 3-week program, but then you get on a call for it and it's all about shilling their MLM products. So I think that was very manipulative and super shady. Okay, now we have an email. This is a long one. It says Beauty Counter and Sseko MLMs, and she wrote it Sseko. I've never heard of that one. Sseko? I don't know. Have you guys heard of that MLM? Anyways, here we go. She says, hey Deanna, I love your channel. I've watched so many episodes since quarantine started, and watching your channel keeps me on track with not supporting MLMs no matter how much I get persuaded. The following story has been essentially hard to not fall for MLMs because it involves one of my family members I really look up to. It's not so much a horror story, but maybe a story others can relate to. If you or any of your followers have a way I can proceed, I am all ears. Part 1 of this story may sound a little bit familiar. I am the woman who had brain surgery and was bugged about buying Beauty Counter. Maybe that rings a bell. Obviously, I made it through surgery and now only have an occasional headache. Apologize for the long story in advance. Anyway, my next story involves mostly Beauty Counter and another new MLM I recently found out existed, Sseko. Alright, so I got married 6 weeks after my surgery in October of 2020. First off, I've never had a sister before, so marrying my husband who has a sister made me excited to think I could have a special sister relationship. At first when I met my sister-in-law, she was rather distant. I later found out she was going through a tough marriage and has, as of last year, started trying to divorce the emotionally abusive and controlling husband. I am so proud of her for standing up for herself, and honestly, I respect her and look up to how strong she has been through this tough time. I do love her and hope that someday she will realize how predatory in nature Beauty Counter and MLMs in general are. I honestly don't quite know how to even bring it up or if I should avoid chatting about it altogether. Anyways, here are a few things that happened. My fiance and I were trying to plan an engagement party, which was canceled due to the pandemic. The first time she started reaching out after she filed for divorce, she first apologized for not going to the party, which didn't even happen anyways. Right after that, she then talked about Beauty Counter and wondered if I'd be interested in the products. I said one of my friends sells it and I would probably go through her first. So within the first couple texts of her and I finally getting to know each other and first truly interacting with each other, she tries to sell me. It broke my heart. She said that she was fine, and then a couple months later, she was texting my fiance about an engagement gift. He texted me a photo of the receipt because he knows how against MLMs I am. She had bought us from her own account a men's skincare regimen, a 5-minute makeup kit, and a band of beauty membership, which gives us the 15% off certain items. I think the membership also helps her possibly maintain her rank and entices us to buy more with that discount. Along with these came a free gift of like a charcoal mask. So after telling her I would buy from someone else, she sent a gift. I've done a lot of research on Beautycounter and found out that they require 1,200 qualifying points every 6 months to stay an active consultant. These points are what you sell as well as what you buy. Well, that is why she bought from herself. The worst part, these gifts were $299 altogether. So my assumption is she was about to lose her rank or consultant status, so she bought us this as a gift. I wish that she could see that she, the consultant, is the customer. This is not a good business to be in. If you have met my husband, you would know right away he isn't going to use a skincare shaving set. So we gave it to my brother instead so it wouldn't go to waste. I tried the makeup and it was okay, but for the amount of money it was, I wouldn't repurchase. Fast forward to when we found out about the mass in my brain and my surgery was a couple days away. Not only was one of my friends bugging me about Beautycounter, as you told in one of your previous videos, but my fiance's sister was texting. She asked what my email was. I gave it to her. She said I needed to click the link and agree to the terms and conditions of the email that was sent. Red flag? I was like, what is this about? She said the only way she could send us a gift was if I did so. Now that I'm thinking about it, Beautycounter probably needed to verify my address. I am betting that she used my fiance's email for the previous gift purchase. I asked what the gift was for and she said just because I was going through a rough time. So I thanked her and she ended up getting us another band of beauty membership and a skincare set called Countermatch Regimen Skincare. I would estimate with her discount she probably spent another $150. So that's nearly $500 she spent on gifts. This isn't including Christmas this year with the shave regimen she bought my husband again and a hand cream and lip balm set I got. I'm conflicted here because she spent money on a gift which is thoughtful, but the gift was possibly because she needed another boost to keep her rank. I feel bad for her. I tried the products because I hate wasting and they weren't bad. When I finally got around to trying the charcoal mask, my skin broke out and I couldn't put anything on without it burning for a couple of days. I threw everything away and then thinking that the preservative-free products had finally expired and grew bacteria or something. I feel so torn here because I want to be close to my new sister-in-law, but she's in this MLM and honestly I think is losing a lot of her money. And I don't want to constantly feel bad by saying no all the time, and people in MLMs can get defensive when you bring it up anyways. Also, she's always sending us other things her friends are doing. Different Facebook parties, book sales, etc. Nearly all of them are MLMs. So her friends are also in MLMs, which brings me to our next MLM I just found out about over Christmas, Sseko. Ever heard of them? I asked for a new purse for Christmas because mine was getting old and ratty. She got me a purse that was maybe not exactly my style, but I was still gonna use it. She said the company employs women in Uganda and helps them pursue higher education. This sounded awesome, so I got a purse, a change purse, and my husband got a wallet from this company. I got home and started to change over purses, but I noticed 15 business cards in my new purse. Dang it. 15. My brain straight away went, Sseko is an MLM, and it is. I told my husband, who had already changed over his wallet. That night, he frowned at his new wallet while taking it out of his pocket to place it on the nightstand. I asked what was wrong. He said, I just hate that my wallet's from an MLM. I love the mission of Sseko, and it seems like they try to have their fellows sell more rather than be the customers. Yet there's still a starter kit that must be purchased, and the purses themselves are about $100 to $250 each. My purses have never been so expensive. Deanna, if you did a video on MLMs like Sseko and Beautycounter, I would totally watch because there isn't much out there. Thanks for reading my story. If you have any advice, please share. I really want to have a good relationship with my sister-in-law, but again, I'm a really big anti-MLMer. So this story breaks my soul because I kind of can relate to the fact of not having any sisters. I grew up, I had 3 brothers, 2 older ones, 1 younger one. I don't have any sisters, but my 2 older brothers are both married. They both have kids, and you know, they're both married to women. So now I have sister-in-laws, which is nice as long as you get along with them. I just personally, like, if this was my sister-in-law, I would just be cordial with the situation. But at some point, I can even see that your own, you know, spouse doesn't even like the fact that his wallet's from an MLM. So maybe having them have a conversation, because if I have an issue with my sister-in-law, but my brother, or not my brother, but my husband, Christian, also kind of has an issue with what she's doing, I would rather him have the conversation as like that brotherly sister vibe rather than me, because yeah, a lot of the times MLMers think that you're attacking them or you're hating on what they're doing. But if it's someone's brother, you know, or sister or sibling, it's a little bit easier to kind of have that conversation and be like, hey, we don't really agree with this. Like, we just don't like MLMs. We thank you for all that you do, but we don't agree with them and we don't want to purchase from them, but we love your gifts. I would love to hear what other people have to say down below, or any advice that you guys want to give this wonderful lady, because this is a hard situation. But yeah, it's just sad because I can tell how much this person really wants to just love on her sister-in-law and how much she feels bad. And a lot of the times with MLMs, what can happen is you can feel guilted into buying things or purchasing products or joining an MLM because a friend or a loved one is in the MLM, and you can tell that maybe they're spending a little bit too much money, or that they keep trying and they keep working their ass off for the MLM, and you don't really see them really getting anywhere in the MLM, which makes you want to help them or be there for them. But sometimes you kind of have to make it known, like, hey, I don't support MLMs, but I'm always here for you type of thing. So I don't know. That's really hard. If anyone has advice, leave it down below, because this one got me in the heartstrings. Okay, this is a really long one too, and it's also about 2 MLMs. So it goes, my name is Kay. You can use my name and I'm addicted to your videos. I have 2 stories I want to tell, and one of them is a bit different to the regular MLM story, so make sure to have your coffee. That's my type of girl, okay? Make sure to have your coffee. I've already drinking all mine. I feel like I need more, but only 1 cup a day. Bit of a basic background. I had just turned 18 and these stories happened within a month of each other. Never have had a job, so I was desperate to get employment. The first one is about Valentus. Ooh, this is an MLM I want to dive into. After I seen what they did to another anti-MLMer, it rubbed me the wrong way. So get ready, because I probably will do a deep dive on this MLM. She goes, I was scrolling through Facebook and I found a post on a buying and selling group of this woman looking to hire people for her business. And I, of course, being desperate, messaged her. I tried stalking her, but couldn't find any information about what her business was, because all she posted was selfies and posts about people in her downline getting ranks. She replied to my message and sent me a unlisted video about the business with the main point, this isn't a pyramid scheme, which made me confused because I didn't even know what a pyramid scheme was at a time, and I never questioned it. This actually obviously made me question the legitimacy of the job, but because I was so confused, I went along with it. Let me pause really quickly. If someone has to say this isn't a pyramid scheme, like that's the first thing they tell you, or they send you a opportunity video where you can learn about the business and opportunity, and the first words to come out of someone's mouth is this isn't a pyramid scheme, run. Because for example, if I go to a place where I want to get an internship, I'm currently looking for an internship with, you know, psychology. So if you know anyone in the state of Texas, San Antonio area that does internships, let me know. But I doubt if I went for like my interview, they would be like, this isn't a pyramid scheme. Because why would they say that? Shady. She goes, I messaged the woman back a few questions about training and stuff. However, she seemed to be in a rush and sent me the link to her Valentus website, where I gave in my details. However, the moment I saw money was involved, everything changed. There was no mention of money, and because I was curious, I had to look at the products, and they were weight loss products. I messaged the woman back and told her I'm not willing to promote weight loss products because I had heard that some weight loss products can cause a lot of harm, and overall I don't believe in using weight loss products myself. From this, I received multiple voice messages from this woman talking about how she trusts the products and how she has used them for years. She also told me to do my own research, so I did my own research, and I found out that one of the products, their Slim Roast Optimum Dark Roast Coffee, is illegal to even be sold in the UK. At the time, I'm not sure now, as well as Facebook victim support groups. I tried to contact other girls who were messaging under the job posting and made sure 2 of them didn't continue any further about the role. I dodged a bullet with Valentus, and at the time, there were barely any Valentus anti-MLM videos. Now I feel the world is starting to get out about this MLM. Charlotte Dickerson does amazing YouTube videos on this MLM, which is true. So I'm very glad you're doing, work when you told the other people in the job listing not to continue. That's what I'm talking about, helping another woman out. So the second MLM says, I'm not going to expose the name of this business because it will reveal where I am based on the story. I had been looking for jobs for a while on Indeed, and I have no record on my log of even applying for them, but I got a call from this company asking for an interview, so I accepted. This is a marketing company, and I was excited because I wanted to go into marketing as a long-term career. Plus, being 18, it felt it would be a setup for my life. I got to the interview and everything went great and seemed normal. There was another girl there who was a bit older than me. After the interview, I was called back later that evening to go in again and the next day for a group interview. I got to the group interview the next day and the same girl was there that I saw the day before. We were called into the interview together. However, it wasn't an interview, it was a pitch. They told us about the work we would be doing. We would be going to houses, standing in the towns, and getting information to sell stuff and get surveys done. It then went to the end of the pitch and we were shown this infographic about building our own teams to get more sales, and that if we made a sale, we would only make a fraction of the money. They continued to say that if we built a big enough team, we could open our own business. Now, because of my research of Valentus earlier in the month, I got massive MLM vibes because I nearly did get sucked in still. The other girl and I were given a survey to complete in the lobby as we waited to hear the results on if we got the job. And then finally, we were both called up one after the other. I got the job and I cried. I regret that now because it shows how vulnerable I was at the time. I was given training to do at home, so I got home and I cracked open the training. It was super sketchy. They wanted me to pretend I was working at other companies, and it taught me how to handle people if the question asked who I worked for. I thought this was sketchy, but I didn't know any better. I had just turned 18. I thought maybe this is what marketing actually is. Luckily, I was staying around my boyfriend's that night and both of his parents came in when I was doing training telling me that they support me no matter what, but they don't think that this is a business I should work for. That, my friends, is when everything clicked and I knew fully that this was some sort of scam and MLM thing. I want to share this story because of my past experience with Valentus and I saw similarities. However, I feel that when a person is desperate for a job or anything, they ignore their gut. I know fully that if I didn't have my loved ones reach out to me that night, I would have gone to work that next day and been sucked in further. I have tried to find out if that girl I was interviewed with did join in the end or if she got away. However, I've had no luck. All I can do is keep an eye out on businesses to see if I can see her in their photos. Luckily, I haven't seen any so far. Interesting note, to get to my interviews, I had been taking the bus to the business and one time I had a random guy talk to me at the bus stop. So we get to talking and he mentions that he used to work for the business I had an interview with. And he starts talking about owning his own business and making loads of money. Looking back on the interaction now, it feels very weird because the business knew I was getting the bus to the interview or was using the bus to get to the interview. It seemed very coincidental, especially because where I am from, it is not normal to have a conversation with a random stranger when taking public transportation. And he mentioned that he was going to go shopping for his birthday, but after we got off the bus, I witnessed him walk by all the shops and exit the center completely. I am not going to claim that the business put him there to try and convince me to join. However, it doesn't sound like an outlandish theory. I hope you liked my stories and I hope it brings a different perspective. Sadly, these MLMs prey on vulnerable people and no matter how much education a person has, sometimes they might just give in. Thank you for everything you do in sharing these important stories. I also wanted to thank people who share their stories too. Hearing other people's experiences has really helped me grow and recognize that every story is important, big or small. It is also okay if you never open up about your experiences. You are valid and loved by this community. Please never blame yourself for the sick and twisted things the MLM and scam did to you. I will sign off now. If you have any questions, let me know. I love this girl. She's right. Like, no matter how big or small, if you want to open up about your experience or not, we're always going to be here. My channel's always going to be here. I'm going to be here. The comment section's going to be here. The community is always going to be here to, help support you. So I loved the aspect of what her stories talked about. She was 18, very impressionable age. You could tell tell she was very vulnerable and impressionable, which is an age that really stinks. Like, I feel like schools should be teaching about this. Like, in our education system, they should be teaching good job opportunities and not good job opportunities, how to take care of money and doing all of those things, which I fail, or which I think in the United States we really fail with our education system in that way. And then the fact that she knew about Valentus, like she did her research on MLMs when she almost got pulled into Valentus. And then there's this newer MLM, not newer, but like this other MLM that she ends up thinking she has a job interview with because she went through Indeed. So there are just so many aspects of this story that I love to talk about every day on my channel. The fact that you can have all of this research even, and you could know about MLMs, but you may still fall for something due to being desperate and in a bad place mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, whatever it may be. You may still fall for something like this, even if you know it's probably not the best thing for you to do or the best step for you to take, but you do it because you're looking for that community, or looking for people to give you that recognition, or looking for a way to make money and all of these things. So in the end, I am glad that she did not join the second MLM. And that other aspect, she had so many aspects that I just wanted to talk about. This was a good one, that she had loved ones. She had loved ones to tell her and warn her, you know, hey, this probably isn't the best thing for you to do. Hey, this sounds like an MLM. Like, we'll support you no matter what, but this just doesn't sound like something you should be doing. And a lot of people don't have loved ones that they can reach out to talk to about this opportunity they have. I feel like I'm really happy she had loved ones to kind of warn her, but not everybody does. That's why I love doing these videos and hearing your guys' stories, because there's people out there that need to hear a story like this because they're going through the same thing as you. And joining an MLM is always someone's choice. Someone can choose to join an MLM or not, and these videos are to bring awareness and to inform and educate and give someone a more well-rounded perspective on something, you know, kind of the other side of MLMs, not just the side MLMers or the companies like to tell you, so someone can make a more informed decision. And that's why I love reading these stories, to give you guys a voice, but to also showcase a lot of scenarios that vulnerable people may be in. They may come across this video and realize, like, dang, maybe I shouldn't join this MLM. Or, wow, now I have a new perspective and I can go into this decision with a more informed, you know, scenario. So I love you guys so much. That's going to be all for today's video. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it. Comment down below which story you resonated with, which story you really felt, you know, people are going to vibe with, or I don't know, whatever you want to comment down below. I love hearing what you guys have to say about these stories, especially because people are so vulnerable to open up their hearts to type this out and to send it, and the fact that they want their voice heard. I love hearing what you guys have to say about them. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed already. I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday and Friday, I educate, inform, and bring awareness about multi-level marketing and the deceptive practices of it, unethical practices. And Wednesdays, I upload lifestyle content like vlogs and some fun things like that if you want to stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one.